Hey guys, this is Jam of jamonline.ph, and today we're gonna unbox and take a closer look on the new ASUS Zenfone 5Q. So this smartphone is also called as the ASUS Zenfone 5 Lite in other territories. However, here in the Philippines, we're gonna call it the ASUS Zenfone 5Q. Basically, the specifications is still the same. We still have the 6-inch Full HD Plus display, which has a display aspect ratio of 18:9. There's no notch on this one compared to the Zenfone 5 and the Zenfone 5Z. Of course, we have here 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage. And here's the interesting part of the smartphone. So there's the quad camera setup in where there's a wide angle lens on both on the front and at the back of the smartphone, which is perfect for taking landscapes using the rear camera or taking groupies using the front camera of the smartphone. So the smartphone has a 20 megapixel front camera, while at the back we got a 16 megapixel rear camera. I know, it's really interesting. Here's another interesting feature of the ASUS Zenfone 5Q. This one is running on Snapdragon 630 processor, which was first seen on the Zenfone 4 series, specifically the Zenfone 4. Unfortunately, the only Zenfone 4 variant that arrived here in the Philippines is the one with a 660 Snapdragon chipset. But yeah, the Snapdragon 630 is still a good processor at this year 2018. Anyway, what are we waiting for? So let's unbox and let's take a closer look on the new ASUS Zenfone 5Q. Okay guys, so you're looking at the ASUS Zenfone 5Q or the Zenfone 5 Lite. So let's unbox this one. Okay, so the retail unit for the Philippines of the Zenfone 5Q will come with a jelly case. Unfortunately, we don't have that one right now. But yes, we still have this pin on the consumer or retail box. Then of course we have here the ASUS Zenfone 5Q that we will talk about later. As you can see here, we still have the micro USB to USB port. Unfortunately, the smartphone isn't using USB Type-C. It's 2018, however, it's still using micro USB. We also have here the charger. Unfortunately, this isn't a fast charger. This one is a 5 volts 2 amperes output for a charger. So just the standard charger that you typically see on a smartphone. Nothing really special about it. Of course, we have here the in-ear phones along with some earbuds. If you're not comfortable with the included earbuds here, you could change this one to this. So basically that's it for the unboxing of the Zenfone 5Q. So let's proceed on what we think about the Zenfone 5Q. Okay, so what we have here is the ASUS Zenfone 5Q or the 5 Lite. So as you can see here, we got here an 18:9 display, which is a 6-inch display with full HD plus resolution. Also, we got here the quad cameras. We have 2 cameras at the back and 2 cameras on the front, in which both of them has a wide angle lens, which is perfect for taking a landscape photos, taking wider photos, and also taking goofies for the selfie camera. And despite being a Zenfone 5 smartphone, this one doesn't have a notch. The Zenfone 5 and the 5Z does have a notch compared to this one. The 5Q or the 5 Lite doesn't have one. And we do have a thicker bezels at the top and at the bottom of the smartphone. However, we do have 18 bezels on the sides, which is, I really appreciate that one. On the side, we got here the plastic rounded sides. We still have the micro USB port below along with the speaker grill. At the top, we got here the 3.5mm audio jack, and at the back, despite having a face unlock on the smartphone, we still have the fingerprint scanner at the back along with this one. So this is the camera. That's a 120 degrees wide angle camera. It's an 8 megapixel camera, so it's better to use that one when you're taking wider photos, landscapes, or some sceneries when you're in travel. Anyway, we do have a glass back and front. That's why I really love the feel of the smartphone. However, I'm actually scared that if I drop the smartphone, I can actually break the glass on the back or at the front. But however, don't worry about that because it comes with a jelly case. It actually feels really premium, and I'm really excited to know the price of the smartphone, because I think this one is the smartphone from ASUS that would definitely make a name. You know, I mean, the Zenfone 3 and the Zenfone 4 wasn't really that popular in the Philippines, unlike the Zenfone 2. And I think the ASUS biggest comeback will be in this smartphone, the ASUS Zenfone 5Q. So as you can see here, we have got here the Zen UI 5. It's running on Android 7.1.1, but I believe it will come with Android Oreo soon, since the Zenfone 3 and other Zenphones already have that update. So hopefully we could get the Android Oreo for the Zenfone 5Q. And as you can see here, I really like the display of the smartphone. It's bright, it's vivid, and it's colorful. I really like the viewing angles on this one. And since this one is 18:9, despite having a 6-inch display, it actually feels handy to me. However, again, I'm a little bit afraid of the glass back, because you know, when I drop the smartphone I might break it. So whatever, well, as long as you have the case. Anyway, I've tried the camera of the smartphone a while ago, so I'm gonna show you some of the shots that I took a while ago. Okay, so there we go. So this one is using the wide angle lens of the smartphone. As you can see, I took a wider shot compared to this one. This one is the standard lens, and I've noticed that the colors are really vivid on the standard lens. However, on the wide angle lens, well, it isn't that much, and the details are a little bit, you know, I'm not actually satisfied with the details that I got on that one. So I've taken another low light shot, and I was happy to get this one. So I'm seeing right now a vivid colors. However, the details isn't the best one for its price range, but it's still good for me. I'm satisfied with it. However, I noticed that there's a little bit of noise, but you know, not really that much. So this one is also wide angle, and as you can see here, it's kind of pale and a little bit washed. Actually, it's washed out. So you know, it's a wide angle lens, so you know, the standard lens of the Zenfone 5Q is a lot better compared to the wide angle lens. Okay, so here's a sample selfie photo with portrait with the bokeh mode or portrait shot. As you can see here, the bokeh on this one is not, well, it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I was actually expecting this one is, well, it's different. Anyway, it's actually pretty good and a lot better compared to the previous Zenfone. It's actually on par with the one on the Zenfone 4 Pro that I'm using. I think that's the only Zenfone in the Zenfone 4 series that has a really good selfie bokeh. And on, well, as you can see in this one is really good. So another one. So another great bokeh shot on this one. So you can see here, it's well, I do look a little bit pale because of my lighting. It's a little bit bright on my room because I'm using the stand-in light. Anyway, as you can see here, this is the selfie photo, and I was actually satisfied with it. It's not perfect, but I believe that it's actually pretty good for me. So I'm really satisfied with this one. So if you're into selfies, you probably would want this smartphone. Also, I think the wide angle lens, I would actually want to try that one out when I'm traveling, probably taking some sceneries or I don't know, landscapes or probably goofies. Anyway, the ASUS Zenfone 5Q does have some pre-installed applications. I've installed some applications already, but compared to the Zenfone 2, the Zenfone 3, well, this one has a lot less bloatwares. So you can see here, we still have the selfie master if you're into, you know, selfies or Bigo Live or whatever. So you could have beautification live, but I won't actually use that one. So I'm actually pretty happy with the Zenfone 5Q. So this is just my first impression. So I'll probably have a different perspective when it comes to the review already, because you know, the updates might come after a few days, and this one hasn't been fully released here in the Philippines. So you know, we can probably expect more updates on the Zenfone 5Q. But right now, I'm actually pretty impressed with its build quality. I like the glass back and glass front, also the quad cameras. I'm really excited for its, you know, performance. And however, the face unlock, well, as you can see, it's kind of flaky. You know, it's not really that fast. It's similar to the Zenfone Max Plus that we have reviewed before. But again, I hope a software update could fix that one. Again, the Zenfone 5Q isn't released here yet in the Philippines as of this recording. So we probably have, you know, more updates and probably improvements on the face unlock of the smartphone. So yeah, I guess that's it for unboxing and hands-on of the Zenfone 5Q. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, well, now's the time to subscribe. So once again, I'm Jam of JamOnline.ph, and thanks for watching our unboxing hands-on of the ASUS Zenfone 5Q, or the 5 Lite.